Cameron Priceline, BWS will do two things at once, and Ben Miller looks like he's done for the day, left ankle.
Everyone enjoys a little bit of pink every now and again, don't they, Brad?
They do indeed. The second quarter underway, long thumping kick to full forward, and Galeno got a hand to it, but he did get a hand to it, Galeno, and as a result it wasn't a goal. So minus score there for East Burwood. 1 goal 4 on the board, 1 goal 3 on the board now for the Rams, and Glen Waverley 3 behind, so a 6-point lead for the Rams. Jesse Dunn to bring the ball back in. Dunn's kick was a poor one though. Canning's taken the mark. Canning wheels around now, floats the kick forward. Handrick was the target. Dunn shot out the handball. That was Sullivan. Sullivan's kick. Not a great kick though. Wills did really well. He's discarded the long sleeves at quarter time by the looks of it.
Good pick up,
He's
Brad.
kicked to Kennedy, and Kennedy there was all wrapped up. He was going nowhere, so it'll be another ball up. Sun is out at the moment. Still quite cold conditions, but I think we'll see the general standard of the game start to lift in this second quarter. It's just takes a little while to adjust. I think the players, so as you said, BWS have been training in dry weather conditions all summer really. Hasn't rained for months.
And they've only played 5 quarters for the year.
Yeah, spot on. So it's likely to go up a notch in this second quarter, you would think. Parthenides there won the tap down decisively, but the umpire's seen a free kick. It's going to go the way of Handrick for East Burwood, and there was some holding on, not much though.
Not much, no.
Yeah, pretty in the ruck contest there. It was well spotted, I guess you could say, by the umpire, but I'm not sure there was enough there to warrant a free kick, but it has been paid to Handrick, the left footer. Difficult kick for him, and he's just missed, just off target.
What a wasted opportunity there, and to be able to line up, and there wasn't much in the free kick, so you really got to take those when they present.
So it'll be Cruz to bring the football back in for Glen Waverley. Or if you look at the scoreboard, Glen Waverley, as it goes up towards the half back line there, and Jemmy picks it up. He's gang tackle, brought to ground. A little bit too crudely, says the umpire. So it wasn't too bad, but nonetheless, chance for Glen Waverley to set themselves up from the half back line. Nicely done there by Murray. This way, that way, up into the middle of the ground. He kicked it to a 2-on-1 situation, but it might work out okay here for Broad. Got a little toe poker on it. Goes after it again. Picks up the footy, got the handball away. Went the 1-2 with Eddie. Now Broad on the right boot, up towards the half-forward line. Nice mark taken by Pickering. Just going to stem the flow here for the Hawks. They want to get their first goal on the board. Winds around now on the left boot, drives the ball inside forward 50, a big pack form. The Rams have the numbers at the full. The dangerous handball inside, strong tackle there by Murray on Brown. The umpire said it was high. So plenty of free kicks being paid, there's no doubt about that. In the middle of the ground, McGowan over the top, goes for the 1-2 with Perry. In fact, no, that time it was Kay. Linked up well. This is good coast-to-coast football. Galeno from the back, but he couldn't stand strong because a fantastic mark's been taken by Dunn, who's really had a solid first quarter and a bit. Reads the football well. Short pass out wide. I'll use the Springvale Road side of the ground as we've seen most of the play out there. Hodges went up, couldn't quite pull the mark down. Little handball away. Hodges goes in after it again. It might have been holding the ball. No, the umpire's just coming in now to say, oh, we'll have a bounce. So a few players just having a look up at the umpire there. Asking and not receiving. Sounds like me at home. As it comes out, ball's thrown up now. Hits the deck, going in hard. Yeah, there was Masters, and indeed he got one. You got to contend against Bo Parthenides. And Pye to restart it once again. Stafford to go up in the ruck. Parthenides was there. He palmed it down to himself in the end, got a little handball over the top. There's a lot of players around this football. It spills out now, and Jemmy got the handball away. Now the Rams through the middle of the ground, up towards the half-forward line it goes. Galeno was the man at the back, but once again, standing in the right spot, eyes on the football, was the big man, Jesse Dunn, Brad.
Yeah, I reckon he plays this role perfectly, Jesse Dunn. Across half-back, he reads the play so well, and he's continually clearing the area for the Hawks.
Good hands.
Pickering's handball was a good one. Shared it with Huxtable. Pickering's kick, kept it very low. Tyler there couldn't quite gather the ball in. Strong tackle applied on Lepore and over the boundary line.
That last passage of play there from the Glen Waverley Hawks, they want to be seeing more of that. East Burwood have been able to link up really well so far in this game, whereas the Hawks have always handballed to guys under pressure. But if they can produce that more, it'll be better for it.
Little quick kick that time came from Humphreys, but it didn't travel very far, and it's been marked defensively by Brown. So Luke Brown for East Burwood. Not a great kick, and Gamey gathered it nicely, got it off to Lepore. Lepore bullets the kick to Damatopoulos. Geordie Damatopoulos' kick, floats it to the pocket. Galeno not real happy with the service there. He says to his teammate, that's probably not the best spot to kick it, and keep it lower for him. Lower the eyes might have been the instruction there to Geordie Damatopoulos. Not a bad result though for East Burwood. Boundary throw in about 25, 30 metres out from goal. Murray gave it to McMillan, kick around the corner. Bounces towards the boundary. Stafford there takes possession but can't quite keep the ball in play. So he's having to go it alone today, Jared Stafford in the ruck, having lost his, what do you call it, compadre, colleague, Ben Miller, early in the game, his ruck partner.
Or mate.
His mate, his ruck mate. Kick out towards the wing. Taking possession was Coates there, who shot the handball out to Kay. Kay's kick though into open space. Eddie gave it away somehow, not sure if that was a legal possession. And Gamey takes possession, he's immediately wrapped up. It's a hotly contested footy, and Gamey on the hands and knees tried to feed it out, but it's going to be cleared here by the Hawks. And they managed to dodge a bullet initially, although Stafford now has taken the mark for East Burwood and will send the Rams forward once more.
So Stafford winds up, gives it everything he's got. It goes every bit of 50 metres. It's only about 10 metres out from goal. Galeno was in the front spot. He paddled it to himself. He's a left footer, so he wanted his favourable side. Got it back. It's still across that half forward line. Couldn't pick it up. There was Canning. Snap around the body now by Glen Waverley Hawks just to clear it out of that danger zone. Creates a foot race. Mulqueen's there for the Rams. Little handball back. Over the top there, Broad, I should say, might have given away a free kick. Advantage will not be paid. Actually, there's been a push paid off the ball. Or two, Riddle. Yeah, okay, the old, the tunnelling situation. So, Riddle, Broad, keeps getting them mixed up. 21-22 as it goes in the middle, looking for Parthenide. He's had the back spot. Strong mark taken by Stafford in the front. Just weighing up his options now. Short pass was on. Just wanted to hit a target, the big man, and he did just that as the driving kick goes up towards the half-forward line now. Bouncing away from Damatopoulos. He was clever enough around the body.
Awareness.
Perry, is he onto it? He couldn't quite get it. He just got the fingertips to it, then regained it, but the boundary line, the paint beat him in that instant, Dan.
Gee, great awareness though by Damatopoulos to be able to spot a man in the corner of his eye running towards goal.
Clever play, nice tap down there by Hendrick. The kick goes up towards the top of the goal square-ish. Wills was there, goes after it again, finally gets boot to ball. A little soccer shot off the fall of the crowd. That was Max Wills. Fantastic stuff, I tell you that. That would have been goal of the year if he could pull that.
I think it was Damatopoulos.
It was.
So he featured in the plays of the week several times last year, so he might be fancying himself to feature again next week.
That's more of a blooper.
Well, if he'd kicked it, it would have certainly brought this crowd alive, but it was just off target. Exciting nonetheless. So,
struggling to get some scores through on Twitter, @FootyEFL. If you're out of the ground, help us out. It's certainly quarter time right across the Eastern Football League. We need to know what's happening out there. Barry Kotz is frothing at the bit on the Sports Centre and won't be too far away from updating us with some that have come in, Baz.
Correct indeed.
Go for it.
All right, in Division 1, it's Norwood 2 2-2-14 to East Ringwood, 1 behind, 1 point. To Division 2, Wanturna South, 1-2-8 to Murrabbuck, 1-1-7. Doncaster East, 5-3-33 to Mulgrave, no score. Up Ferntree Gully, 3 behind, 3 point to Park Orchards, 3-3-21. In Division 3, Ferntree Gully 2-2-14 to Chirnside Park, 1-2-8. Donvar 1-3-9 to Warrandyte, 1-1-7. And Division 4, Coldstream 1-1-7 to Trailing Whitehorse Pioneers, 2-1-13.
Well, back into play once more. Thanks very much there to Barry Cotts with those score updates. And Perry kicks a minor score for East Burwood, which sees the Rams move on to 1 goal, 5-11. When Waverley Hawks are 3 behinds. 1 goal, 6 in fact. 1-6-12 East Burwood. So Perry on that occasion, he's second behind of the game so far as Dunn brings the ball back in for the Hawks.
Goes up now, big fist over the top there by Stafford. And Gamey hits the deck. Hands it back to the umpire. I'm going with you on that one, Brad.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Centre half forward now for the Rams, and Gamey at the fall of the ball tries to trap it. He's got 3 Hawks around him coming in nicely. Number 14 we're after still for the Glen Waverley Hawks. You might have that. It was McMillan. He's going in hard up towards the half forward line now for the Hawks. Bouncing football sat up well to favour them at that stage, and the umpire's pulled out another free kick. Not very free-flowing. It's stop-start and plenty of free kicks being paid as Murray goes inside forward 50. Pickering a strong lead, and he takes the mark, and he'll kick from about 40 metres out and almost directly in front, not the most difficult of angles. So Evan Pickering. It was better than by the Glen Waverley Hawks, straight down the guts. Eventually you're gonna link some play up, and it's worked for them. He needs to put this one through, though. They currently trail by 9 points, and he can. Stephen Kernahan, helicopter punt. That one straight over the goal umpire's head. That's their first for the afternoon. Margin back to 3 points. It is 1-3-9 to 1-6-12, Dan.
Yeah, well, sometimes I think people overcomplicate the game of footy. That wasn't too much of a complicated passage of play, but it was simple in the fact that they got the ball on the boot, hit the man on the chest, and he was able to line up and kick the Glen Waverley Hawks' first goal for the afternoon. But they'll want to see more of that. A bit like the link-up play they've been getting better at as the game's worn on. Hitting players lace out on the chest, perfect opportunity for scores.
So back in the middle, it's a 3-point lead to East Burwood. Finally, the Hawks getting their first goal of the game. The ball on the wing here for both sides. That was Potts who went to ground. Did he get a push in the back? The umpire said yes, indeed he did, against Joel McGowan. So free kick to Mitchell Potts. High kick by Potts to half forward. Ferguson flew late there for the mark. Pickering sharked the back.
I'll tell you what.
2 in a minute for Pickering. No, fisted through for a minor score. And just one behind there. Bruce Preston laugh at absolutely anything. I'm not sure what was funny there, but something was hilarious.
I was waiting for you to have your own giggle there, Brad, and you certainly delivered as the ball across the half-forward line now for the Glen Waverley Hawks. Hitting the deck there was Riddle, and he's going nowhere. Ball up. Top of him was Brett Kay. Barry Cotts has got some more scores that have come through.
Yes, we've got Surrey Park and Fair Park. It's Fair Park 4-4-28 to Surrey Park 2-4-16.
And Gamey got the handball over the top to Perry, hit the deck, had enough time to regather, got the handball back, looking for Kay, who charged through, copped one high for his troubles. Rams free kick across the half back line. Currently leading this game by 2 points, 1-6-12 to 1-4-10. So Kay able to gain an extra 10 metres by running off the mark, kicks it up towards the half forward line. He was looking for Wills, who had the back spot, hits the deck. McGowan brought down in a strong tackle, will have a bounce just inside the forward 50 arc for East Burwood. 98.1 Radio Eastern and EFL.org.au all afternoon here till 6 p.m. Keep us across the scores at your ground, at Footy EFL via Twitter. They go inside forward 50, Lapore's kick, and just finding the right spot. He just reads the play so well, doesn't he, Galeno? And he'll go back, and this should be bread and butter to put his second through.
Well, look at that. He hung around the back of the pack, knew it was going to drop exactly where he was running, and that's Division 1 experience right there, as we'd seen him dominate so many times.
So Adrian Galeno loving being back in the Rams jumper on the left, sends it goalward, and there's no place like home, is there? Straight over the goal umpire's head for his second of the afternoon, stretching the lead back to 8 points for East Burwood. 15 minutes gone now in the second term on EFL game day. The Glen Waverley Hawks at 10, East Burwood 18.
That's the second time today that Galeno's taken those half opportunities to be able to kick goals. We saw him down the other end earlier with the snap, and this time just reading the play so well and taking that split second opportunity.
Yeah, and I mean, luck's a fortune in as much as that the ball did carry the pack, and he was in the right place at the right time, but he got himself to the right place, and then he still had to mark it despite the distraction going on in front of him. So, yeah, as BWS said, bit of Division 1 experience, or was it you who said Division 1 experience showing through in the way that he judged that kick to perfection. Umpire throws it up. Hodges lost a handle on the footy. Wills tries to trap the ball now. Pagliaro seemed to give a free kick away, and the umpire saw it that way. Some holding on against Huxtable. The free kick going the way of Billy Huxtable. To the wing position. Brown takes the mark. Judge that nicely, Luke Brown.
That was good.
Luke Brown with the kick, close to the boundary, and finds Pagliaro, who's just working into the game nicely. Short pass by him to Handrick. So Brett Handrick wants to wheel onto that trusty left foot. Not such a great kick off the boot that time. It was a real floater. And they managed to force a boundary throw in there, the Hawks. Not a great entry, forward 50 entry that time from Brett Handrick. Didn't do his forwards any favours on that occasion. So he'll go up in the ruck this time against Parthenides. Beautifully sharked there by Riddle. Nice palm down by Parthenides into the path of Brad Riddle, but he was immediately set upon, and it will be a ball up.
Score centre, Barry Cotts.
Yeah, Division 3 scores quickly. Heathmont 2-5-17, South Belgrade 1 goal straight 6. Donvale 3-7-25 to Warrandyte 2-1-13, and Ferntree Gully 2-2-14 to Churnside Park 1-8.
Big close games happening around there, and Gamey just trapped it. Umpire had already blown his whistle. Glen Waverley Hawks free kick, and they'll be off now across the half back line in towards the middle of the ground, looking for the Pickering direction. He was out muscled that time there by Mulqueen. Trapped the football, rode the tackle, almost threw it away in the end. They're under pressure across the half back line here, the Rams. Well done there by Pickering, but he got just dumped straight away. Dropped the football. Quick kick into the middle of the ground, went straight through the arms there of Eddie, and the sun might have got in the way there. Who would have thought that would have been said as Mills goes forward, top of the goal square. It was a one-on-one situation. And Galeno was there, but it was nicely knocked away from him through for a minor score. It just snuck in. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 18 minutes into the second term, it's a 9-point lead to the Rams as Jesse Dunn brings the ball back into play.
Yeah, and his target then was Eddie, who couldn't quite take the mark. Pagliaro, little handball, was effective, got it to O'Brien. Was intercepted though by Broad. Chain of handballs from the Hawks. This is a good build-up, promising build-up for them. Little handball was shot out then into the path of Tyler. Tyler's handball for Eddie. Eddie has a bit of time to steady, looks for Gavin Cruz. Cruz gathered it in nicely enough, and then it was a really untidy handball for Murray. Back to Cruz. Cruz's kick to deep into the forward line for the Hawks, but the Rams should be able to clear this time. McGowan, steadying influence as he comes out of defence. The kick to the wing position. It's untidy at the moment from both sides. They're just not quite able to get it from end to end cleanly. Perry put his body over the ball, but he was immediately wrapped up by Broad. And the umpire says, I'll have it. We'll ball it up. It's still a 9-point lead to East Burwood. 2-7-19 to the Hawks, 1 goal for 10.
Parthenides will go up against Handrick or by himself and get a good fist on at that time. Try to ride the tackle was Riddle, got it away to Broad. Umpire said it was holding the football. That was a very quick call, or he might have thrown it off. So Handrick just takes off, old-fashioned like, and touches the ball on the ground. Then Puts it right up inside forward 50. Man on eyes for the football was done. He didn't take the mark, but he roved his own pill, then got the old 1-2 back from Cruz. Another handball inboard. That was okay. Riddle's kick was half smothered. McGowan goes after it for the Rams. Hits the deck. True centre wing position outside here on the outside of Waverley Toyota Oval, a.k.a. Central Reserve. Barry Cotts around the grounds thanks to the score centre.
Yeah, Division 2 Upper Ferntree Gully and Park Gorges 3-3-21. 2 Upper Ferntree Gully, 3 behinds, 3 points. Bayswater and Lilydale 4-3-27. Bayswater 4 behinds, 4 points.
Oof.
On Turner South, a 1-8 to Middlebark 1-17. And Doncaster East 5-3-33 to Mulgrave. So far, no score.
Thanks for the extra excitement there, Baz, as the umpire throws it up. Ball hits the deck once again. Ray Baird's out at Turner South. He said it's a very scrappy game. He'll be around the grounds this afternoon. Tune in for his report at 5:30 as the kick goes up towards the half-forward line. Brown couldn't quite take the mark for the Rams, but he had support at the back there. Handball over the top there by Stafford. Put his teammate under her at an immense amount of pressure. And I tell you what, we saw one earlier that was paid for not getting rid of the football quickly enough, but Pies being fair here. Throws it up, and there's been a little bit of Mulqueen interference here, and I think this is going to be a free kick to the Glen Waverley Hawks from the stoppage. It is.
Holding off the footy, I think it was.
So Evan Pickering, who is the sole goal kicker for the Glen Waverley Hawks in this term. We saw him kick one from just a bit closer, almost same angle. He'll come in again. He got good purchase last time. He sets it up. It's just going to fall short. Oh, Parthenides in the front spot. I think it was Ferguson, I should say. I got it wrong, but I tell you what, it held up and the big man just pulled it down on the chest. And all of a sudden, the Glen Waverley Hawks are going to get a couple of goals within 10 minutes and get themselves right back in this, Dan.
Gee, the wind played that kick beautifully, didn't it? It weighted it just so much to hang out in front of Ferguson, who was able to take the mark.
This is where you want to kick them from today if you get it. You're 20 metres out, you're directly in front, and you put it over the goal umpire's head. So the Glen Waverley Hawks kick their second goal for the afternoon, and the margin is narrowed once again. Back to 3 points out here at Waverley Toyota Oval. EFL Game Day 98.1 Radio Eastern, streaming live around the globe, efl.org.au. And we're into time on. 22.5 minutes have ticked by.
Well, Stuart Wine will be a bit disappointed with that, as we've seen in today's game, that the slightest mistake and it can cost you big time, as is the case there.
So first goal of the day for Matthew Ferguson. He kicked a couple last week in the Hawks' loss to the Whitehorse Pioneers. So 3 goals for the season for him now. Back in the middle, McGowan took possession out of the middle, long left foot kick, and it will find the boundary line once again. So not a bad clearance then from Joel McGowan. He's doing a power of work through the midfield for East Burwood today. Experienced player, of course, at the Knox Footy Club for many, many years. That was Parthenides who won the tap. So boundary throw in, out of side. Parthenides to go up against Handrick, and no one really able to clear the area again. Strong tackle by Perry. It's been the order of the day, as you'd expect in these conditions. Lots of ball ups and boundary throw-ins. Riddle, quick kick around the corner there. Great pick up by Broad, but he was immediately tackled.
Good second effort as well.
And he's certainly shown plenty of tenacity, Luke Broad. He's often been, he's given away a few free kicks, and he's just hasn't quite had the rub of the green today on a number of occasions. And that was another one of them. Broad's little handball. High up and under kick. 2-on-1 contest favoured East Burwood. Brown knocked it down, but it was into the path of Sullivan for the Hawks. Sullivan's little handball to Riddle. Riddle's quick kick didn't travel very far. Floating kick forward for the Rams. It's set up nicely for them now.
Oh,
Sold
fancy.
a dummy.
Damatopoulos.
The over the top by Damatopoulos. And Galeno races into an open goal and kicks his third for the Rams. And Geordie Damatopoulos, he's got some tricks in his bag, that is for sure. And he showed another one there. He gave the handball off just at the right time. You know, half a second later and it would have been smothered, but on that occasion, Galeno was waiting for it and kicks the third goal of the day.
Barry Cotts on the score centre around the grounds.
Yes, Division 1, Blackburn, Noble Park. It's Blackburn 3-2-20 to Noble Park 2-2-14.
Thank you very much, Baz. We'll make old mate Gus McLeod very happy as he hose into his third burger. As the umpire throws the ball up now in the middle of the ground. He'll love that, Gus, as it comes out into the middle. Overrunning at that time there, Kennedy. Couldn't quite trap it, but they still got the numbers. Perry got the handball, hit the deck, got the handball back to his teammate there in McGowan of the Joel variety. Linking up well, here's Masters. Snaps around the body, top of the goal square. Galeno! The second bite. No, the umpire said it was touch. I tell you what, give us a spell.
Gee, he timed the push off to perfection there, didn't he, Galeno? He knew exactly what he was doing, and he'd be gutted with that.
It's a very tough call to make. And as the siren sounds to announce half-time, that's a short quarter, 25 and a half minutes have only just ticked over. Galeno kicking 3 goals in the first half. We're seeing it on the replay now. That is daylight robbery. That is a clear mark. But anyway, we digress, and we go into half-time knowing that we've got a very good game on our hands.